Yoga Namaste. I am your colleague P.C. Das. This is an opportunity to appear before you on this special occasion of International Yoga Day. When our country celebrates 5th International Yoga Day, it is never completed unless otherwise State Bank of India figures there. Whether it is very important work, nationalistic work, nationalistic affair, you will find State Bank of India there. No pandemic can stop this nation as well as State Bank of India celebrating its pride. Pandemic is an issue. It has engulfed entire world. But look, we are there to celebrate an occasion, International Yoga Day. How this is a unique process thought out by our bank. Our beloved Chief General Manager, Sri O.P. Mishra Sir, has planned a unique way to reach out to colleague members and their families through this virtual event. He has given more weightage to his fellow colleague than specialist yoga teacher or expert, with an impression that our members are not lagging behind in doing yoga, celebrating yoga-like event, and can keep their health and mental peace definitely on par with other people in the country. You will keep the legs 1 foot away. Now this is called rotation of waist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We will do it in a reverse way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In both the cases, the lower portion and upper portion of body will remain static. Only waist will move left and right. This is exercise of waist. Then we will go to next item, knee rotation. We will bend forward and then do clockwise and anti-clockwise. We will do it for 10 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Waist movement and knee movements. These are wonderful freehand exercise to keep our waist free, backbone flexible, and the knee joints very flexible. That knee pain, joint pains, and the lumbar pain will never come. We should continue to do like that. Then we will go to next item, which is asanas. There are some asanas which are done in standing position, some asanas in sitting position, some asanas in sleeping position. We will do 2 asanas in standing position. These are very simple asanas, everybody can do. That is what we have chosen. First asana is Tadasana. Is a T called palm tree. Tadasana. We stand, both the legs put together, then slowly raise our hands up the head like this, cross it place it on the head, then raise the hands like that, reverse it, raise up, slightly, body also should go up, stretch it, and then look straight. While raising hands, we should breathe in. While putting hands down, we should breathe out. Now, since we have raised it, kept it like this, so our breathing will be normal. Now, slightly raise the ankles and down. Raise, down, raise, down. Like that 4 to 5 times we can do. Come to the previous position, put the hands on head, slowly put it down. This can be done 10 to 15 rounds also. Very simple, but then benefits are enormous. This strengthens muscles of hands, legs, calves, necks, and entire body in fact. Our next item in standing position is Trikonasana. Name suggests it's a triangle. Trikon means triangle. We'll do it to the next item. Bending, then we bend left side and right side. One cycle completes. That way we can do 2, 3, 4 times. We'll do here 2 times. Slowly bend towards left. Left hand should touch the ground near the leg, and right hand should go up. This is the position. Our side should be up. We should be trying to look at our fingers. Knees will not bend, straight. We can count at least 20, then slowly come down to earlier position. The same thing we will do. We will bend towards right. Right hand will touch the leg on the ground, and left hand will raise upwards. Our sight will be towards up. Slowly we'll come down to normal position. This is wonderful asana. It strengthens muscles, nerves of legs, thigh, arms and neck. Therefore, it always keeps our body active. Lethargy will go, will feel like very active. And the other benefit for our mothers and sisters, those who are suffering from little bit menopause, this is a very wonderful asana for them. Our next item is Vajrasana. This is the only asana which should be done or can be done only after heavy meals. Other asanas are not permitted. Other asanas should be done in the morning in empty stomach or in 3 hours gap. That means after doing asana, you should keep a gap of at least 2 hours for heavy food. But after 3 hours of heavy food, you can do asanas. But this Vajrasana is the only asana permitted to be done immediately after heavy meals. So we'll bend our legs, this position, knees should touch the ground, and we should, in fact, both the toes would touch each other, and we have to sit on the heels like this. Hands will be straight, palms to be put on knees like this. Spine should be erect. This is the position. The breathing will be normal. In the morning session or in the evening session, whenever we can do it for 1 minute, 2 minutes or 3 minutes. But after meals, when we perform this, we should do at least minimum 5 minutes and even sit in this posture for 10 to 15 and 20 minutes. The benefit of this is wonderful. Why it is done after meals? Definitely to digest. This is how it digests food. It prevents forming gases, creates enzyme, that is the here. We'll come back to the original position slowly. Next item is Ustrasana. While doing this posture, it looks like camel, Ustra. That's why the name. We come to Vajrasana position, bending our legs, bringing it backside like this. Then raise our hip, stand on the knees like this. Slowly, with one hand, touch your left heel, with right hand, touch your right heel. Come back to the position. To show the side picture, I'll just slightly move and do it like this. Raise the hip, stand on your knees. Slowly come back. This is wonderful exercise again to keep your spine rejuvenated, your muscles, and in fact this is suggested in yoga that youthfulness will always remain as it is if it is done regularly. Very wonderful. It removes lethargy, gives spirit, as if you regain life by doing this. We have completed our sitting postures. Now asanas will be doing. Our next item is Pavanmuktasana. That means releasing gas from the body. Name suggests like that. In fact, this is something that it doesn't allow to form unnecessary gases inside the body. Therefore, we have to do it regularly. So we start. Again, we sleep slowly. Breathing is normal. Jointly by both the legs. Pull both the legs toward chest. lock your hands, press it towards chest, then again touch knees, go back, release hands, place the legs as it is. The benefit of this Pavan Muktasana, as I said, it digests, doesn't allow gas to form inside body, and if at all it releases, that means it doesn't allow to form poisonous gases inside the body. We should be free from such gases to keep our body, mind and good health. Our next item is Markatasana. The posture is like this. We have to sleep. Slowly. Markat means monkey. As usually we see how relaxed their body is. Therefore, we have to act like this. First, raise left leg, bend it towards right, touch the ground, then stretch both the arms opposite like this. Face should be opposite to the leg direction. We can be in this posture for half a minute or more than that. This gives you so much relax that you feel like continuing in this. Those who are having little bit back pain, come back slowly. We'll do with the right leg. Put it on the left, touch the ground, arms stretched like this, your face towards right side, opposite to right leg now. Come back slowly. This is very wonderful asana to rejuvenate the spine, avoid any kind of spinal disorders. At the same time, it gives super rest. Anytime you can, once coming back home, you can do as rest. It gives wonderful rest to spine. Next item is pranayama, which is breathing exercise. As I told, breathing exercise is very wonderful. Normally we breathe as human being as long as we live, but why pranayam? Pranayam is, in a normal condition we never breathe as required. Just to pull on, we breathe. We breathe means our system breathes. But pranayama is designed in such a way that there are different pranayamas. Accordingly, we breathe deeply, we breathe very slowly, super slowly. Therefore, different names have been given to this pranayama. We will do 2, 3, 4 pranayama. Breathing in will be taken care of. We have to breathe out. That means we are forcefully breathing out the oxygen. So little bit forcefully, not like Vastrika. So we start doing. 30 counts. You can count it up to 50, up to 100. Even after 100, you can rest for a while. Again, next round, 100. Like that, you can count. At least 1000 counts also you can carry on. You are ensuring that carbon dioxide is not there inside. That means whatever digestion you have made, whatever accumulation of carbon dioxide is there inside your body, the system, whatever way it is throwing, that may not be sufficient, because our food habit is such that we sometimes take something which is not desired of body, still we take. However, to get rid of such things, we have to throw out carbon dioxide forcefully. While doing this, while breathing out, that means exhaling or rechak, you should ensure that your stomach navel portion goes inside. So I show it once again. While breathing out, at the same time your stomach should go inside. That means navel portion should go inside, like this. Our next item is Anulom Vilom. Again, in this sitting posture, you can change your legs, right leg down and this up. You can change like this every time if you are doing for long. And Anulom Vilom is something like, it's a very super slow. This is the only breathing which is done in a very slow way. The more slow it is, the more benefit you derive out of it. That means taking oxygen slowly with much more time than usual, then again same way throwing away carbon dioxide. It heals entire system inside, gives total oxygen to your body, and again throws away carbon dioxide from your body. Therefore, it's a total cleansing. Even people in bedridden condition, they can do it in sleeping posture also. This is a very marvelous pranayama. It is claimed that even diseases like cancer, asthma, TB, all these things can be cured. It is proven. However, in a normal way, we should continue to do this to keep and maintain good health. We start. We will do it for 30 counts, but we should do, as I said, at least 100 counts and then take a small break and do it again. We start. You have to close one nostril, take slow breathe from other nostril, close that, release it from right nostril, again take slow breathing inside through right nostril, throw it through left nostril, again breathe in through left nostril, throw away from right nostril. So one cycle is taking from left nostril, throwing from right nostril, breathing in from right nostril, throwing from left nostril. This is one cycle. Like that, we have to do several times. We can do up to 100 times and more. So we will do once again at least 10 times. very important thing for doing pranayama is you have to close eyes, you have to visualize that something is entering your body through your nostril and something is going out through your nostril. That means as if prana is coming inside and the carbon dioxide is going out. You have to see inside your body, talk to your body part, talk to your inner human being. That is how it is designed, that is how the importance of pranayama is. Simply breathing in and breathing out will not do. You have to visualize that, you have to be with that, you have to visualize that through your nostril something is going inside and again something is coming out. Air we cannot see, but then you have to visualize as if something in different colors it is coming out. It is colors, it is going inside. And while breathing in, you have to visualize that oxygen goes inside your body from head to toes. It is taking care of, it is giving oxygen to entire body. And similarly, while breathing out, you have to think that entire gas or unnecessary things, carbon dioxide or poisonous things are coming out of your body. That is how you purify your body. Our next item is Bhramari. This is Bhramari Pranayam. Bhramari means that black bee, the sound of black bee buzzing. When you buzz it with breathing, you should close your ears so that you can hear your sound yourself. Entire brain and head portion, face and neck vibrate in a way it gives new life, jerking to brain and new life to brain. That means it rejuvenates brain. We exercise for everything, but then how to jerk, how to give some sort of twisting to our brain. That is Bhramari. Through Bhramari you vibrate it and automatically our brain gets some sort of exercise. So we can sit in this posture or even in Vajrasana also. According to me, Sukhasana is the best one, and always ensure that you keep your spine erect. You should not bend like this. You should sit always like this. You should not strain the spine, but in a comfortable position. So Bhramari means producing sound. People do produce Om, that is Nad. Sometimes that is not necessary, but simply this is also enough. If you do outside, people do hear that sound, but you have to hear yourself. That is how you should close your ears like this. Close your ear with thumb. Place other fingers like this, both index on your forehead, other fingers slightly on your eyes. Now we start breathing in, then breathe out with sound. Those who do not have any religious problem in uttering Omkar, that means Om, they can do it. In fact, originally that was designed like that only. However, our main issue is to produce sound, so we'll do with Om also. We place again like this, breathe in and breathe out with Om. Slowly remove your hands, rub it, put this warmth on your eyes. Open your eyes. Our next item is the last item, that is meditation or dhyan. In yoga asana, in yoga shastra it is called dhyan, which is meditation. Meditation is neither any posture nor any breathing exercise. It is sitting in a calm position, sitting with yourself, sitting with mind and body put together, no extra thinking, a divinely thinking for welfare, thinking for welfare of humanity, thinking welfare of your organization, thinking welfare of yourself, your family, dear and near. We have to close eyes. The breathing will be normal as it is. We will not have any control on breathing, but we have to have control on our mind. This is the benefit of meditation or dhyana is unlimited. It's a heavenly boon to human beings. It distresses our mind, relaxes the body, relaxes from stress, removes anxieties from body. Innumerable benefits are there we derive from dhyana. So we start doing, we should do it for minimum 5 minutes. It can go up to any time. Yogis and sadhus, they do it for hours together, days together, years together. We normal human being, we are materialistic people, we cannot do like that, but yes, we should do it at least for 5 to 10 minutes in a day, and whenever find time. You have to be with yourself. See inside, see your Shata Chakra. We have 6 chakras coming from bottom, Muladhar, Shadhisthana, Manipur, Anahata, Vishuddha, Agya Chakra and Sahasrar. These chakras are inside our body. You have to go through by closing your eyes, as if you are talking to your mind, you are talking to your body inside. When you look up, we see the sky, unlimited sky. If we see inside our body, again unlimited spirituality, unlimited power of mind. That is how we should experience. Now we'll do it for 5 minutes in sitting this posture with Dhyana Mudra. Dhyana means Dhyan Mudra should be also Dhyana Mudra. Close your eyes, sit erect. You should not bend it, but in a comfortable position. Close, and thought process should be as I narrated. Be with yourself. You are not hearing anything outside. You are not thinking anything outside. You are not thinking as if you are in stress. That is how the mechanism is to distress yourself. We do it. In fact, our concentration can be on any of the body parts, especially between the eyebrows, or even on head, that is called Sahasrar. You think that there is lotus on your head, lotus petals are bloomed. Your blessed divine blessing is coming from sky, and you can concentrate on your Vishuddha, which is here. This is Vishuddha chakra. This is called Agya chakra or Anahata, that means where your heart is, or navel, that is called Manipur chakra, or Vishuddha Shadhisthana, which is near our organ, male organ or female organ, and the Muladhara at the bottom of the spine. The sadhus, those who want to have salvation and want to awaken our Kundalini, that is called Kula Kundalini, they start it from the Muladhara chakra. They up it, takes it off, sees that something very wonderful, amazing flame or jyoti is coming up and going up to head, that is Sahasrara chakra. So to begin with, we can concentrate our mind between these two eyebrows, that means here Agya chakra. That will be the best part. So we do like this. Rub your hands. Put on your eyes. Rub your face. Slowly open your eyes. That is the end of the session. Namaste, Yoga Namaste to all our friends. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina.